Hello all, welcome back to the next one. So in the last class we created the navigation page and we utilized the methods from the navigation page into the course register test suite. Now let's take a look at the login page and let's understand why it's different. So usually for anything that I want to perform on this application needs a login. I want to search for courses, I want to register a course, I want to do something. I first want to log in and then I want to perform all the test suites. So it makes perfect sense to log in the setup and then just have the test suites doing only the test related stuff. So this is the reason in the conf test we logged in, and then in the courses test suite or anywhere else we don't have to worry about logging in, right? We can just worry about our test cases. This is a nice thing to do, good optimization. But in the case of login test cases, we have to be on the login page, and if we already log in the conf test, we will land up here. So we are not on the login page and the test might gonna fail. For this reason, it makes sense when we first go to the login test suite, we just click on this guy and log out. So if we log out, we will end up outside on the login page and we can then execute our login test cases. And it makes sense to do that because for most of the application we need to be logged in by default, and it's nice optimization to first logging in and then doing the test suite, so we don't have to worry about logging in the test suites, right? So it's only one test suite, which is login, which needs us to be outside the login page, right? So let's just follow this convention. We log in by default, but when we run the login test suite, we log out first and then execute the test cases. So let's go to the login page and we need to create a method to log out first. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna say log out, and this guy should, in order to log out, it should first click on the user settings icon, and I think we already have a method in elements in the navigation class, navigate to user settings. So to utilize that, we first need to import that class here. I'm gonna say from pages, sorry, not from, I'm gonna say from this time, from pages dot home dot navigation page, import navigation page. Pretty sweet. Now let's create an object for it. So self dot driver, self dot nav equals to navigation page, and I need to provide the driver instance to it because this also takes the driver, right? And we need to take care of that part, so that's why I'm defining it inside the constructor. Now let's utilize that. What do we need to do? We need to first go to self.nav.navigate to user settings. Then we need to click on the logout link, which is this guy. So let's find out the XPath for this guy. So it is under the div. It's a div, I believe so. I'm just hoping. So yeah, I think it's right on top somewhere. It's a div navbar, so that's why I've put div here. And under that, I'm trying to find an anchor tag. Okay, this is good. It has an href, so that's a nice thing. So I'm gonna say a @href, which is equals to sign out. So I can simply create the XPath like this. Let me just cut it, clean the DOM, and prove it to you. That's it. We found one matching node and we can utilize this XPath. So let me just close this again and go to PyCharm. Here I'm gonna say self.element click locator equals to the one that we found, and locator type equals to XPath. So this will click the logout link. Now let's go to our login test. Here we go. So in login test, I need to remove this. Okay, in login test, what we need to do is we need to create a setup method similar to the similar to the register courses if we want to do something common, right? But if we don't want to do something common, we can just skip that part. It's not always necessary to create a setup method. In this case, what we have is we already have two test cases. The first one is invalid login and the second one is valid login. and we already decided that we wanted to always run the invalid login first because it's gonna fail the login, and then we're gonna run the login, valid login afterwards, so then it can log in and then perform the test cases. Now what we can do is we can just simply put the logout thing in this guy, invalid login, because we made sure that it's gonna run first, and we only need to log out once only, right? So then when we log out, it's gonna execute the test invalid login test case. Then it's gonna go to test valid login, and it's gonna log in, and then finally we'll quit the browser. So let's go ahead and do this here. So I'm gonna say self.lp.logout. So this thing. That's it. So I'm putting it as the first step. It logs out and then verifies the login stuff, and it's just gonna go ahead and do that. So that is pretty much it. That's it. Now what I want to do here is I just want to run this code and show it that it's gonna first log in by default from the conf test, and then it's gonna log out because of this line, and then it's gonna perform the remaining actions. So let me just go ahead and do that. Py.test and tests and home, and then I think login test.py -- browser and Firefox. So let's hit it and run this code. It collected 2 items. It should bring up the browser. It's gonna just try and first log into the application by default, and then it's gonna log out. Did you guys notice? It logged out, and then it's again executing the login test. First it's gonna fail the test because we're verifying the wrong title, right? So I would like to take this opportunity as well. So we were always failing this test because of the title verification, this guy. So let's just go to this place, and finally we have seen everything, so we can finally fix this. Let's verify the correct title. Let's code it and then fix the test case, and let's see everything green. Let me again just quickly run this code and bring it up. This time it should just first log in, then log out, then it's going to execute the login test case for negative data, invalid login, and then the positive data, and then everything should be successful. Then log out, and then it's going to again try to log in, and second test executing, log out, log in, and then quit the browser. All done, all good. So pretty much everything is successful. We were able to complete the login test, and in the next one we will see how we can run the test suite together, basically combining login and course registration in one suite, and then run both of them together in one file. Alrighty guys, I'll see you in the next lectures. Thanks for running this one. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm always here to help you. And alrighty, thanks for running this one.